And when you consider what they were willing to sacrifice, are we willing to sacrifice or to risk adversity to pay for it? I know that there are some people that wouldn't show up today because they were afraid somebody would take a picture of them from Homeland Security. It's not the way we're going to cut it, guys. Do you know the roar of a lion is only a noise? The roar is only meant to freeze its victim, so then it can become dead meat. So we can't fear the roar, but we must act quickly for the sake of our children's future. Without passion, hardly anything's ever accomplished. So I encourage that we muster passion to learn about the trials surrounding the invention of our Constitution. What we're facing has been facing before, but my concern is that for too long we've been sleeping and have not guarded well our freedoms and the upholding of our Constitution. Well, today is evidence that we're waking up across America. Let's not go back to sleep once this hour and a half are over. I feel quite inadequate to speak about the issues, the bad decisions being made by our governmental authorities today. But I do believe that one by one, our freedoms are threatened, including the freedom of speech and the freedom of little living souls to draw their first breath, and even our freedom of religion. Due to selfish agendas on the part of many of our elected officials, we can no longer enjoy the luxury of freedom with complacency, hoping that the Constitution will automatically protect our rights. We can no longer just hope and pray, but we, as part of the majority of Americans, must learn to do all we can do and be all we can be. We are here today not only to unite our voices in our mutual concerns, but to look for solutions. It's been said, the successful people look for solutions. They don't focus on the problems. We're not powerless. Not as long as we have brains to think. Imagine that, I'm an educator. We still have control over our brains and our freedom of will. I propose that this is where we concentrate our efforts today and every day. Because two of the issues that plague most Americans today is wealth and finances. I propose that we learn to achieve great prosperity in both of these areas independent of the government, to empower us and to reverse the direction our government trends are going. First, recognize the industrial age has closed, and the informational age began decades ago. We can't hang on to hope for job opportunities to return the way they've always been through our lifetime. Think and be proactive. Blaming others is not going to get us where we want to go. Have you ever thought of all the folks whose jobs were lost when the industrial age stepped in? What happened to the buggy makers when the car was born? Today, the change is from the assembly line job into an informational industry. From a time when the masses worked for someone to the masses working for themselves to providing services of their own expertise. This necessitates our need to establish our purposes in living and the methods by which we work towards that purpose. We need to learn to discover other forms of providing income in new ways. The half-life of our knowledge today is 2 years. That means half of what you know today will be obsolete in 2 years. It's not the government that can rescue us. It's our brain power and our willingness to learn. There is no limit to our capabilities. Most jobs of 10 years from now have not even been thought of. Perhaps you will think of one. This is our solution financially. Start now. Learn. Develop new skills. Explore what you love to do and create a viable income source from it. Concerning health, About 100 years ago, man figured out that they were smart enough to make lots of money by forcing unnatural changes in biological cellular function, resulting in covering up symptoms of disease or malfunctions of the body. This unnatural remedy is what we've been trained to think as health care. According to the admissions of that sickness care industry, the effects of that philosophy costs us 1.5 million lives a year. Yes, this is the industry that our government chooses to address health issues in our country. Remember, nothing of worth is free. Targeting symptoms is not the answer to our health needs. The answer is to address the natural order and design of our cells. The answer is to address the natural order and design of our cells. The answer is nature. We are biological creatures. But be wise, even in the wellness industry, most are concerned about profits more than results. We must seek to learn how to discern between them, to find those that have variable data about their worth and then be consistent in doing what enhances our well-being naturally. Hence, if it's on TV, it's probably not for me. Wealth and health is something we cannot wish for. For every effect, there is a cause. Because my worth, my ability to serve up to my potential is dependent upon the quality of health and wealth I possess, I'm passionate to obtain both and to preach both. Example.